Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of my Macedonian campaign. Today, we should finally dismember Rome. The youthful republic of the Romans thought that they could tango with us seasoned Macedonians, and, well, frankly, just didn't turn out quite the way that they wished. With Macedonian armies streaming all over northern Italy in Roman peril. Now this is the army of the King of Macedon himself, and his entry into Italy, I think that Italy's conquest is more or less assured, although I very much do want to increase the sound. Somehow my settings change like every time I play. I don't know what possibly is causing that, but that should be a little bit better, a little bit more ambient. But in any case, we basically have armies all over northern Italy. We just won a decisive battle against the Romans at the end of the last episode. So I think it's time to go conquer Rome itself. The Romans basically don't have any troops over here in the north. They still are pretty strong in the south since they've been battering Carthage, although actually, the Romans had control of this settlement. Now they don't. Perhaps the Romans are just on the retreat everywhere. But in any case, let's go figure out what to do with these darn Romans. And, well, first thing that I definitely want to do is send the king's army to do something. And I just felt that it's safer to go to Genoa with the king. I don't need to tie him down in an exhaustive siege. So let's go over here, and we should be able to just, take this Roman force for a ride, and then I'll just go ahead and besiege Roma itself. And I was pretty surprised by the advantage that we have here. Let's just go and take the settlement. Like, I wanted to actually play that out, but with 90% surviving and just a garrison protecting the city, I see no need to draw it out. Siege of Rome really is never that hype when you play it out in a campaign anyway. It just ends up being a normal siege battle. Let's go raise Roma to the ground and rebuild it in a Hellenic image. I did want to make Roma the more impressive city commercially, so let's just go ahead and do that. We did just increase our Imperium, so that's cool. We should be able to recruit another dignitary? Yeah, only another dignitary. Morale. Culture? Yeah, let's go ahead and get some cultural conversion. I think that will probably be good. We go ahead and get commercial stimulation. And I'll just go ahead and get consecrated grounds. Over here, go ahead and get a building that prevents squalor, because ultimately squalor will be quite an issue in the hyper-industrialized Latium. But now with Roma conquered, I think it's probably just best to have my troops spread out a bit, try to recover. I do want to go ahead and conquer Magna Graecia as well, but another thing I was thinking about looking at is what my actual win conditions are, and I was hoping there wouldn't be any part of Persia I need to conquer, but I need to conquer Persia, Syria, Egypt, Africa. Oh my god, there's so many spread out provinces! But it's pretty clear that all of my objectives are to the south, so I really shouldn't go any further north than Illyria if I can prevent it. And I definitely do have to go and break into Asia, in Bithynia, and Galatia. Crack this Hellenic nut over here, these remnants of what was once the Seleucid Empire. That way we'll be able to push forward better. Go ahead and do a little bit more philosophical research. Always like building upon philosophy. Golden Chevron Railsword, that's crazy. This guy's really like ranking up. Get more unit experience and enemy agents. I don't know, is there anything that like is gonna help me with... never mind. I was looking for like some better upgrades, but I just couldn't figure out anything creative to do. Yeah, Ascalon's fine. I'm just trying to think of what the best move is. Like, should I lunge forward and try to take Beneventum, or perhaps I should just wait a turn? But I can go and take Genua. And other than that, is there anything else that I'm forgetting to move? Let's do an agent check. Let's go figure out if there's anyone that needs upgrades. Guys from Macedonia, so go and get some more things that can help a province like this. And ooh, yeah, we can go and try our luck against the Chimerians, but they do have a pretty mighty garrison here. And this is going to be a really difficult battle, because just look at the sheer number of hoplites here. I mean, we could blockade these guys, but don't really think it's worth a whole lot to. And honestly, like, we're just unlikely to make use of this navy in this region. And with the Chimerians so low on territory, I doubt we're going to abandon such an essential settlement. So I'm going to get my navy back into defeater that I belong in. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, we'll just keep all of these armies hovering around Italy. They do need to help, you know, solidify our control over this province anyway. So we'll keep them here. Our banditry is outstandingly low. I do want to start building up income here somewhat, so go ahead, pay for another upgrade over in Latium, and we'll go ahead and engage this garrison in battle. Battle of Genua, Rome's last possession in the north. And they'll be completely out of the northern parts of the map after this victory. And a victory it shall be for... I'm playing with the King's army here. I made this army out of pretty much the most elite troops I could afford to recruit at the time. Like, we have veteran mercenary hoplites. Just look at these tanks. It's armed mostly in bronze, cuirasses, awesome greaves. Clearly experienced, grizzled veterans leading this phalanx. And just majestic stats, great armor. We have experienced Cretan archers. I mean, look at these fools. Look at them. They're fantastic. A strong cavalry corps. Peltist pikes. These guys are made from the top class Macedonians. They have fantastic combat stats. Just really good offensive capabilities. A little bit weak on the defense, but 30 armor is still nothing to skip at. Some Agrianian mercenaries, and yeah, just in general, some fantastic units. Go ahead and bring our phalanxes forward. Our units might move a little bit slow, because a lot of them are very heavily armed, but at the end of the day, our men will be unmatched in their quality when facing off against this Roman rabble. I mean, look at these despicable legionaries, abandoned by their leadership. Gonna have to defend his settlement against an oncoming rush of Macedonian greatness. And forgot to move my Agrianians. Well, these guys are quick. They'll catch up fast. We'll have them stream along this flank. Run in good order, men. Don't embarrass yourselves. But yes, across the board, to see all of the like experienced chevrons and stuff is just crazy. And an army that's basically never had to fight a battle. Yeah, also these Cretan archers, they don't have good range. But what they do have is exceptional firing speed. They're like machine guns, man. 9 shots per minute. And yeah, we'll just have to get the bronze shields and start forming up ranks here. We have more than enough time to get their pikes down. So we're gonna do so. Splendid fashion. And I'm just hoping that these Cretans can find targets amongst the Romans who are willing to die. Willing to die to a hail of arrows. Meanwhile, these Italian citizens, they decided to go and run into our men. The Romans cannot afford to lose a single man, let alone a citizen. Such losses will doom them. Inevitably, we'll have 3 Agrionians run screaming into a militia. It's not even gonna do anything, man. Like, it's not gonna do anything. All these town guards have done so far against my Agrionians is die. They've killed 1. We've lost 30 men. 30 good Romans. There's a few of those. These dark days. As the sun wanes of what could have been a great empire, doomed by the incompetence of its leadership and abilities of its foes. But yeah, we'll go ahead and just swing our Thessalians around. This battle's over. The Romans are so positionally doomed already. My general's already killed 56 men. They basically just entered the fray. Now, these Macedonian nobles are just gonna munch upon these Romans. These are levy marines, slingers, and slingers. Well, it was definitely a worthwhile venture for my general to be amongst a bunch of levy marines. Yeah, we'll just have the short pike phalanxes form. Then I'll have them kind of push forward a little bit here. Lost a couple of hoplites, unfortunately. So far, my general, he just needs to keep on going. Like, this is the king of Macedon. You can't be caught sleeping. You have to be running down some Italian slingers at the very least. Like, otherwise, why is anybody following you? Why would anybody want to be in such a pathetic royal squadron that has barely tasted battle? There we go. Yeah, now the Romans are breaking. There's Agrionians swarming all over their flank. My hoplites and my pikes have yet to be breached, and I mean, the Romans just got trounced by seasoned professionals. 39 losses. I mean, that's just because my men are so well armored, man. They're so well armored. Yet 3 of those losses were apparently from friendly fire, so I'm just upset. How could my Cretans do this? Brave hoplites, brave pikemen, shot by their own men. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, I want to sack the settlement because then I don't take it. I just get some money. And ooh, see how little experience my army has, because all of these things come directly from actually winning battles. But yeah, we'll get some buffs that help improve just the combat stats of my units in general. A little bit more missile damage. That's what my Cretans have done, and well, there we have it. And let's just liberate the settlement. And now it's going to create a new ally for us. The Plani for a Celtic faction. Beautiful.
My friend.
We'll go ahead and get a trade agreement with these guys. I mean, that'll help improve our general perception from other factions. I can see just the Romans in general, they are so screwed. They're now weaker than us. Decisively weaker. And yeah, I think that that's a natural turn end, although, who is this general? Again, okay, it's somebody who is married to one of my children. Makes sense. So somebody from my family, which is an important detail. That means that I'm completely comfortable recruiting good units for this army. Just kind of looking at like what in general is my fortunes here in Macedonia. We do have plenty of second-class citizens that we can use for an army. A ton in Pella, but I don't want to expend a lot of first class. You know what? Let's make this army kind of weak. Like, let's just make it more cost-effective than anything else. Just get a lot of these white shield infantry. Yeah, third archer. And, you know, we'll get a couple of decent cavalry units to round it out at least. Yeah, we just recruited this guy. You know what? We can kind of just like go across to the different generals and just see what's going on, because there's plenty of generals or agents which where I would not be surprised if I just didn't really pick any abilities here. Or maybe maybe I'm absolutely just tripping. Okay, yeah, I absolutely have. Let's go. Next turn. Kind of hyper focused on that one. Okay, so the Romans, they've lost Latium itself. They've lost Genoa. So it's a dramatic turn for their empire. And now we're going to go south further to try to take on Magna Graecia. Now, Magna Graecia, I don't believe it's a particularly interesting challenge here. Like, they have one army at Beneventum, but I haven't seen anything else thus far. So I question whether the Romans really have a whole lot left to play with here. I mean, we have a very powerful army in Asculum, but it's basically completely healed. One of our two armies didn't take a ton of casualties when taking Rome, and the king's army can always march south as well. It was virtually unscathed by the pathetic rumblings of an army that it faced off against at Genoa. So let's march the king's army back, or not back south, but just south. Let's see, okay. Oh! Okay, so basically a member of the royal family has returned. Well, that's quite interesting. Well then, this is absolutely an opportunity to go and create a new army. An army of quality. However, I won't do that right now. Not this turn anyway, when I still have this army waiting to develop. I wanted to get a trade that decreases empire maintenance. There we go. Minus some empire maintenance. It's always useful. Yeah, now this army, I just want to keep it over here in Italy because, well, it's going to take a while for this army to recover, and it's also full of orders, so I'll be able to recruit Italians, so why not? The general, wherever the king come back. This army is still capable of putting up a fight, and his army absolutely is. And honestly, I think that I could probably win this battle without even having the other army come in to fight, and frankly, I think it'll be more interesting if I do. Now, where are my two spies over here? Because I do want to take Medholan, just to turn it into another ally of mine. And yeah, let's go send this spy down south to see whether there's going to be any Roman reinforcements anywhere to be seen. But it doesn't really seem like it. Okay, I'll go take this settlement at the end of a turn. Though I guess I don't have much else to do. I've already moved my navy. Let's see, do I have any second-class population to recruit here? or cavalry? Not really. So I'll go try to move towards Pella and see whether... Yes, we're within range, so... Yeah, you know what? With the sheer amount of second-class population gain I have, I can afford to lose, like, 400. So what's the best option that comes entirely from the second class? And medium skirmisher cavalry are definitely a good option. So too are Freyo's cavalry, and I think that they're far better than the Tarentine cavalry, which... I mean... Okay, Tarentine cavalry are better, never mind. They're objectively better in multiple ways. But the armor is definitely the biggest thing. Like, the extra combat stats of the Freyo's cavalry is definitely not really a substitute. Definitely not going to add up to that, but it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, probably is the Thessalians. We can't really outdo the Thessalians from the second class based off what I've unlocked thus far. So yeah, let's just do some Thessalians. I don't think I can go wrong with Thessalians. And yeah. Go ahead. We shall recruit these Thessalians. I'll move these guys in, and I am really surprised that Rome is struggling public order-wise to this extent. We'll get this, we'll upgrade this. Yeah, I mean, let's just go ahead and take Beneventum. Let's go and do it, boys. I was thinking about whether there's any other moves, but nope. Committing to this one. And I just thought I'd fight this battle on the field, because just general going 2 versus 1 with my 2 armies combined against really 1 Roman army and a pretty small garrison force. It just wouldn't have been fun. To actually do a battle that will necessitate a little bit of tactical prowess rather than what's just an inevitable route, really. Like, honestly, if I was commanding the Roman force, I don't think I would have been able to beat my 2 armies combined. At least with the tools that I would have if I was the Roman force playing. I'd be, like, outnumbered 2 versus 1 with way worse troops. So at the end of the day, the Roman garrison troops, they're really not as good as any component of this army. Like, this army that I'm using right now, it has some weaknesses. Like, these light hoplites really aren't fantastic, although they have 4 speed. So they are really, really fast for infantry, and they're excellent against cavalry. And, you know, my Sarissa cavalry are pretty low on defense. Like, these guys are just a glass cannon, but they're just a really solid, cost-effective glass cannon. I mean, when these guys charge, they leave a mark, man. And okay, the Romans, they deployed separately. So, like, this army over here, like, I could easily crush if I just, like, ran down a hill. And the rest of the Roman infantry should be pretty slow at moving, so honestly... really do need to just, like, destroy these guys. 2 Sarissa cavalry charge each one of these Roman units. Having my pikemen just, like, run at the enemy, because my pikemen are, like, reasonably strong just as infantry units, but I need to get the rest of my infantry to hustle up and to actually fight as well. Oh god, this is going to be such a disjointed charge. I'm completely unfocused here, but luckily my cavalry had such a decisive advantage over the enemy, but despite some haphazard charges that were basically blocked by the rock, the enemy cavalry at this point is surrounded and getting stabbed repeatedly, and we have my Macedonian nobles in the mix too, so the Romans are losing men here. pretty decisively, pretty heavily. We don't quite like being trapped so much, but oh god, these Valets are going to destroy my men so much. We must leave. We have to go. We cannot survive these javelins. We've already killed 27 men in like a couple of volleys, dude. Velites are strong. They're actually one of my favorite Roman units in this mod. Like, in the base game, they're really not that interesting, but like, in Dividend Impera, they're sick. Yeah, that cavalry confrontation cost me. I lost a lot of Sarissa cavalry and my general too, but we could turn around and, well, the remaining 39 Equites here, they're not going to quite like what's about to hit them. They're not going to be able to survive as oncoming Russian Macedonians. Yeah, the Velites are going to get a retaliatory volley, but there goes the Roman cavalry. And now we escape. With our lives intact. And let's actually try to win this part of the confrontation. I mean, of course, to be honest, just because all my infantry have made contact, we're guaranteed to overcome this puny little garrison, but I want to do so cost effectively. Don't want to be wasteful and have men die needlessly to Italian slingers or whatever rabble the Romans thought would stop us here. But yeah, at this point, only garrison commander remains in good order. The rest, they are going to be crushed. All these veteran spear maniples, they're gonna get destroyed. When my men have the time to actually like turn around and all that. Ooh, fat retaliatory volley from the Velites killed like 5 men of my general's bodyguard. That's quite a bit. And yeah, I just want to surround these Italian swordsmen. Like, his garrison commander is technically the general of his Roman combined force, so I just want to slay him so that the rest of the Romans lose heart as well. My pikemen aren't really doing that great of a job against these Italian swordsmen, but it matters not. Also, my light hoplites are about to chase down and slaughter these Italian slingers. Their backs against the walls, they're not going to be able to block the many jabs of my hoplites. But honestly, the Italian swordsmen are doing pretty dang well against my pikemen. My pikemen aren't excellent swordsmen by any measure. As the Italian swordsmen are demonstrating, I mean, like, these guys are surrounded. They've gotten 44 kills, and they are at an absolute disadvantage in this combat. While their melee defense completely shot by being surrounded and being hacked at from all sides. It's probably only the leadership of our general that has kept this unit so bravely sparring against my professional troops. Yeah, the Romans are arraying their principes, their hoplites upon this ridge. Well, we're gonna have to go and shut them down. Now, I'm just wondering whether we can deploy some skirmish prowess right here. We'll get our 2 better Sarissa Lancers left to go and take him out, and yeah, we'll just have the rest of my forces here to surround the remaining Italian swordsmen who dare defy us. I mean, these guys are surrounded by some pretty okayish infantry. Like, we're definitely not gonna, like, rout instantly, but they should get broken within, 20 or so deaths. Once just enough of them have dropped, they'll inevitably rout. And they're gonna lose troops fast. We also have some axemen in the mix that are probably causing more casualties than my pikemen. Yeah, these sellswords, they've done pretty well. They've killed like 13 guys that barely lost a man. There we go. And, ooh. I didn't quite realize that there were stone throwers in the mix here. Oh, these guys are just sniping, eh? Okay, well, you know what? We can go ahead and send some light lancers after them. You know what? Only 1 unit necessary. And I don't want to be too close to this hill. I want to make the Romans come out on evener ground to me. Let's go ahead, try to assemble something resembling a formation here. Meanwhile, we'll have these slingers form up right here. Start launching their stones. Abandon. Zero abandon. And there we go. These ballista are gonna get hunted down now. My Sarissa Lancers. Dude, those are axes, bro. Those are insane axes. I didn't realize ballista crew fought with such massive weapons. Imagine a unit full of such axes. They would slap. That would be like a Thracian noble. In terms of just fighting ability, killing ability, just what deadly weapons. But yeah, there we go. The ballista crew, we've hunted them down. There just aren't enough of them to really make a proper stand against us. We have some light hoplites running back. You know, we just skewered a bunch of Italian militia skirmishers, so we need some time to make it back to the main line. But the Romans, they don't seem to be really in a rush. Really in no hurry at all. Yeah, they're just gonna stay here. Expecting me to assault them. Oh, you know what? Let's just wait a second here. Wait for the rest of my men to kind of join up. Okay, I mean, looks like we're actually launching themselves forward. Perhaps they tired of being slung stones at. I mean, I've actually done a lot of damage to these Brudians, but as you can see, they only have 21 armor. So they're actually one of the less armored units of the Romans, and they'd be almost hesitant for charge. Don't quite understand their body language. They seem to be weaving forwards and back. Now we're going back. But as they do so, more and more Brudians hit the dust. They thought that they were in some way protecting their homeland by siding with the Romans, but instead, they're being pelted. Yeah, honestly, I just don't think that the Romans believe there to be any purpose to charging me, so yeah, I'll just kind of condense my phalanxes a little bit, move forward. Because the Roman line isn't that long, so I might as well have my men in a deep enough formation to just have an impact, right? To be strong, to feel the power at your back, the camaraderie holding you afloat. But remember, these are the finest Romans left serving the Empire. But my slingers are kind of sniping them and just picking these guys off, and the Romans cannot afford to really lose any of their veteran infantry at this point. In this campaign, for sure, but let alone in this battle, slingers they haven't killed a ton of men, but they've definitely like whittled down the fighting ability of some of these troops and just disoriented them. You can tell the Romans don't quite like to be slung at. And yet the Romans, maybe now, they're actually going to pour down the hill. So let's have our phalanxes form up. We're going to exchange some javelins here and see if the Velites can keep up with my peltis. These guys have definitely thrown some of their javelins already. And the enemy are streaming down the hill. The thing is that, of course, like, the enemy doesn't have any javelins left. Or sorry, not javelins, cavalry left. So we can outmaneuver them if they commit their men. Of course, we're going to throw many a javelin. They are the Romans, of course. We're going to accept some javelins from my specialized peltis, but every Roman has a javelin, seemingly. And I mean, they have some hoplites, and to put your hoplites forward against a pike line is to invite disaster. I mean, these hoplites are just going to be beat back and scourged. But my pikemen, absolutely destroyed. We charge some Principes straight on. And they're keeping some men in reserve here, which is keeping me honest, but so far, everything that's charged against me is really not equipped to. And this hoplite in particular, they're going to lose so many men against my pike phalanx. Like, this is going to be over very quickly for them. So far the Roman infantry is doing alright, but definitely not like impressively so. And this flank definitely looks ripe for exploitation, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my very light and maneuverable light hoplites, start wrapping around a bit, and we can go get some Sarissa cavalry to kind of take the field a bit. Go ahead and kind of just command a charge here. Go ahead, bring these velites down. At the end of the day, like, a sacred squadron has to go and clean up velites when they deign to kill good Macedonians. Like, surely these velites have to pay a price for slaughtering their betters. It's not Saturnalia after all. And have these light hoplites charge downhill beautifully. We'll have, you know what, we can go ahead and command 2 Sarissa cavalry charges. I mean, the Sarissa cavalry are pretty fast and deliver a punishing charge, so why not have the Romans just feel Sarissa cavalry reverberating across their lines, and then we'll have these Sarissa cavalry just kind of back up here. Yeah, it seems that most of them managed to escape. Need my pikemen to actually advance a little bit here. The thing is that my general is particularly effective melee combatant, so just curious how many kills could I get if I just like charge him into battle when the Romans are fleeing, because he has insane weapon damage, so it's like it's gonna get like 300, 400 kills. And it's gonna get him some experience. At the end of the day, like, you know, these Romans, they're veterans. Like, it absolutely is a worthy cause to wipe them out, man by man. But yeah, there we go. It's pretty good. Like, we just swamped, crushed the garrison force, and turned around and defeated the main army of the Romans. Totally outnumbered me, but qualitatively, I always knew that I had the advantage. So we'll go ahead, let him drop, and yeah, we'll go ahead and just loot Beneventum. Take the spoils of combat as our own.
Commander.
Okay. Go ahead and get the training trait that way. This army will continue to improve regardless of whether there is a champion with him or not. And yeah, with that, I believe that that's the end of what I can do, really. I mean, alright, there was this army too, right? I mean, be useful enough to slaughter this force. I lost 4 men somehow. Honestly, how does that happen? How do you lose 4 men in such a confrontation? Well, it's confusion and chaos. Just making sure, yeah. We have a lot of Hellenistic troops. There we go! Let's go! Well, capture Beneventum, and yeah, there we go. See, I knew that there were going to be some Romans that were campaigning in Africa. We'd be able to pull some force out. But yeah, now that I know that I need to capture Africa for my win condition, and Egypt, well, I'm definitely going to go and capture Africa, so I'm just going to go ahead and steamroll through Magna Graecia, through Sicily, and into Africa itself. And in order to do that, I need to bring my navy too, because they'll be invaluable for the rest of my campaigning against the Romans, since the Romans do have some pretty solid navies left. So I'll probably be shipping some units over the water anyway. So in general, there's a big advantage to having naval involvement here, and a couple of factions bite the dust. Unlucky.
We hunger for battle.
Yeah, let's go kind of see what's going on. I do want to go spy on the Insurbs. I want to take them out one way or another. And, I mean, these Alpine Hoplites or Shield Wall Spearmen, I should be able to wreck them with my phalanxes.
Ready for orders.
Meanwhile, it's a very strong Roman army right here, although ill-experienced. Go ahead, just try to defend Apollonia, because some of these forces, they're a little bit sketchy. And we'll just keep this agent here for... Really does look like the Romans are planning on mustering a force potentially to use against me in that region. I don't know whether I want to go into Methalan with my faction leader. I think that he would be better used fighting Romans.
Ready for orders.
But I think that I can use my more damaged armies and just kind of have him tread water a little bit in Italy to try to increase public order, and then I can use them. Now, in this settlement, we're gonna eventually, like, it's... Okay, just thinking. I guess it'll definitely end up being a more industrial province rather than commercial. And I probably just want to use this. Then just create like an industrial building. It's the only thing that makes any sense to me. Might not be the ideal setup, but that's what I'm gonna do with that particular building chain. And then over here, go agriculture, that.
We hunger for battle. Ready for battle. Faster, damn you all.
Okay. Think that the movements that I have done make a lot of sense to me. The question is whether the building I have done makes a whole lot of sense, because I finally do have some money. And I've been neglecting a couple of provinces. For example, Thracia. Let's go ahead and check it out. But we do have plenty of money here. Banditry is very high in this province already, though. So don't really want to increase banditry all that much. This is already very low squalor, actually. I do want to increase... I do want to upgrade this. That's going to be totally worth it. +4 squalor. We can definitely increase squalor. -4 public order. Like, I'm already doing a -4 to public order. We'll just do one. We still have 4 more turns of movement left, so go travel to Athens with my boat. Or wherever with my navy, not my freaking boat. That's crazy. Don't really want to move that army across. Yeah, I mean, we already moved these forces this turn. Yeah, at this point I am kind of just like wondering what factions do we have relations with in provinces that we plan to attack. Like, for example, Carthage, a lot of agreements with them. Have nothing with Ptolemies. We have a little
Enter.
bit with Rhodes. A lot with Pergamon, actually.
I am eager to hear your embassy, inspired as it undoubtedly is by the wit and wisdom of Athena herself.
I do wonder whether I would benefit from having Pergamon and Rhodes as my allies, or whether I'd best have them as enemies. I'm not so sure, actually. You know, I do want to start training an army whose intent will be to go and fight against the armies and peoples of Asia Minor. You know, I should start to develop such a force, yet if I want to make something that's truly elite, I should wait for my Eugenies class to actually start to prosper, because for now we don't quite have the capacity for that. So you know what, we can expand a little bit slower, actually. Let's just wait. Let's let a couple of turns go by. I've been playing out this episode very slowly, so let's not overthink these next few turns. I do question what the wisdom of, like, making alliances with the Pergames and Rhodians are, when it would be so profitable to take Asia, and I have to make it to Syria anyway, and I just don't see myself, like, holding on to Syria that easily without any control in, like, Asia Minor or whatever, you know? It's kind of
I make the
weird if
offer
I
of
do.
peace only from a position of strength.
Yeah, you guys are not in a position of strength. You guys have been humbled. You've been kicked out of the very Bosphorus itself. What's the point of a Bosporan kingdom existing without being around the Bosphorus? It's silly.
You are
And
wise enough.
I'm well aware that the Pergames wish to offer some sort of alliance, but I'm not really that interested in taking on such a thing. Really not that interested. But yeah, I am considering creating a somewhat elite army to go and fight in Asia. And you know what, the more I think about it, the more I quite like the idea. After all, 4 armies currently operating in Italy. That should be sufficient to take on the rest of the Romans, particularly if I also enhance it with
At your command.
something else. You know what? Let's go ahead
Moving out.
and we'll start creating the army that's going to take over Asia Minor eventually at next turn. Shall do such a thing.
For orders.
Now,
At your command.
these 2 armies, I'm going to have them eventually travel north and take on the Insurbs. That's my plan for these forces.
Advance.
Now, these
We hunger for battle.
general are sending him to go fight against the Romans. So
Ready for orders. Is that all?
there's going to be a rebellion next turn.
March. We hunger for battle. Make haste, men. At your command. At once.
Go move my forces up just a little bit. A rebellion's going to erupt behind me, but matters not. Keep this army in the field. My navy go travel to Athens. We'll resupply over the turn and then come out even stronger. Ooh, Athens has a meaty population starting to form. Just like wondering whether there's really any factions that I want to create alliances with. Seleucids are dead meat. I don't
For
know,
the
maybe
sake of friendship that has
Pontus,
been.
but they seem really, really weak. They're kind of keeping my yeast a little clean,
I
though.
am honored to receive this.
You know what?
Now we can drink.
Wow.
No. Last night.
That was a pretty humiliating, though. Can't believe that I fell for such a thing. How could I possibly think the people in Pontus would make good allies? Pah! Silly to even think of such a thing. Let's see, this already has a -2 squalor rating, and we have 2 more to play with. So this is -3, -3, -3. It doesn't matter which one I do. I can actually afford any of them. Now, we will lose food, I suppose. The whole point of this is agricultural income. I don't really want to increase my banditry that much. And this is like gonna do +8, which is a lot of banditry. It's not really that worth it. I mean, if I fortify it, I'm actually gonna minus banditry. I think it's totally worth it. Yeah, I think it's totally worth it to just minus banditry. Definitely well worth it. Don't believe I can build any other type of Sparta here. Plus, they all do manufacturing, actually. Yeah, I'll just do commercial Sparta. I don't think that I can actually build anything, any other type of Sparta. Had that same issue in my prior campaign when I conquered a settlement. We did state that we don't want to decrease public order any further. So let's not do that. And we already moved these armies. I think it's best to keep up with the one army capable of doing me great harm. Okay, I think it's a worthy thing to end my turn now, except really should just improve one of these. Commerce, well, definitely a salt trade hub then. Commerce is way better than industrial. Yeah, we've done some consolidating here as well as some industrial building, because when you're early-ish in your campaign, I guess not really early in this campaign, but when you're still in the middle game, you don't have to worry about your economy as extensively as in the late game when your Imperium's so high and you just have horrendous empire maintenance penalties, so, you know. They're kind of still not in control of a fantastic economy, but I can make it really good if I just improve my industrial provinces. You know, Thrace and Italy, that's where I should be making all my money. So there we have it. Gotta go prioritize that. Manufacturing, yeah, either one is just gonna be wealth. Industry for industry. Requires a salt resource, but I have a salt resource here, so I should get should definitely just get the Amphora factory, right? Somebody do commerce. Okay, let's see the Insurbs. Did I have any agreements with them?
Noble friend.
Hold on, let's break it up. Let's break the non-aggression pact. It's a good thing that I checked. So I have some turns till war breaks out.
Ready for orders, Commander.
Okay, so that's where the good army went, which means the robots have basically abandoned Taras.
We take
Like, actually.
ready for orders.
Beneventum settlement already has reinforcements, so this army won't be able to do anything. Plus, you know what? I can always just send this army down south. Go ahead, destroy these guys, and I really lost some troops. Go ahead and loot the settlement, and yeah, there we have it. Beneventum taken. As I typically do without playing a siege battle. And yeah, don't quite like the amount of casualties I took, but frankly, doesn't really matter that much. We are at this point in pretty much like full control. We can go ahead and send this army towards Italy too.
We hunger for battle. Hold this at garrison. Commander.
Yeah, there we go.
Hold this at garrison.
Okay, and the one thing I'm forgetting, start up an elite army. Plus 0% Empire maintenance. I do like that. This guy's also of my dynasty, so... Go ahead, make this guy the head of an elite cavalry unit. And then we'll go ahead and merge
Ready for battle.
these units together.
Ready for orders. At your command.
I'm just thinking of, at this point, what do I want to trade?
We hunger
You know?
for battle.
Should I sacrifice some of my budding Eugenes? Definitely not, right? So I should only train units from the second class, but it's like, what do I really want from the second class here? Because the best melee infantry that I could get are absolutely my Royal Peltis or some sort of mercenaries. I was like, should I just recruit the mercenaries, or should I mean, honestly, the best thing I could do is just start recruiting Eugenes and just wait. You know, just wait a little bit. I mean, I could definitely get a couple of Thessalians and have them train up a little bit.
Ready for battle.
I mean, you know what? For skirmishers, I definitely know I'm not going to get better than these Agrionians, these mercenaries of mine. So let's just get them. Or should I just recruit regular Peltis that we have? No, these guys right here. Six. I don't know, man. Like, and I am so confused about what I should get. I'm so indecisive at this point, and I said that I'd make some effortless decisions. You know what? Screw it.
We need good Fighters.
Get some good peltas. Let's get some guys who know what they're doing. Got a couple of Threo spears to support. This is going to be an elite army, but it can't be one without its basis that's able to skirmish, that's able to fight. And I don't know whether there's really anything else that I want here, because I don't think I'm going to get any hoplites. Unless it's these guys. Well, am I going to get really any cavalry here that's not elite? Just thinking whether I should. I mean, it does seem a little bit pointless. Like, the Royal Squadrons is extremely strong. Maybe this Sacred Squadron's immensely powerful as well. We definitely could get some lighter units that are actually capable of, like, skirmishing properly, right? Like, let's just get a couple of Tarantines. But the rest we're just gonna pull from our elites. Yeah, we'll end the turn. Or apparently not.
Commander, yes. Ready, willing, and then your orders.
So at this point, let's get my navy forward.
Pausing. Ready for orders.
Okay, who is it that has the little upgrade?
We hunger. Ready for
I
battle.
imagine it's somebody I'm not really thinking about right now.
Commander,
Oh, there we go. He assisted in the battle. It makes perfect sense. Alrighty. Let's let the turn pass, and that'll be the end of the stream. The Romans are expecting my troops at Beneventum. Quite normal of them. Troll espionage is ultimately what the powerless do. And you can see how powerless the Romans are. I mean, they're peeling an army back towards Sicily. The one force that they had that could have resisted us just decided not to fight. I wouldn't be surprised if the Romans just lose their control over Africa quite soon. I'll let that rebellion in near Beneventum persist. Honestly, I think that it's to my advantage if I do. Because I'm going to take Ascentia really quick. Gonna get my armies that are concentrated around Taras to pounce on it. You know what, let's play one more turn. That's what I'll give myself here. One more turn. Let's see, what is that governor? What's he up to? Hearing phrase, cultural conversion could definitely be. Yeah, all of those things are absolutely useful. Okay, Trapezus is gone. That must mean that factions accumulating more power in Asia Minor. Ooh, it's Armenia. Armenia's moved in. It's nice that none of the factions are getting overwhelmingly powerful. There's no great competition to me forming in the region.
ready for orders. Ready for orders.
Now, because it's winter, I don't really have the ability to go all the way to Cassentia with too many of my armies. Luckily, though, the Romans are quite far away, although very concentrated around Syracuse. You can see they have many an army. But do we have... Oh, and okay, they're actually rebounding in Africa. So, yeah, the Romans are definitely strong in Africa, but it looks like we're kind of holding up a bit, perhaps because of my navy. At least that's what I'd like to think. I don't really see any other Romans doing anything right now. You know what? Oh man, this balance of power is really silly. And there are some armies that can almost make it to Cassentia.
We hunger for battle. Commander,
I just don't think that it's wise to, like, you know, overdo it, right? I don't want to.
Ready for battle. Ready for orders. We hunger for battle. Set up the watch.
Okay, I'm gonna send my faction leader back this way.
March.
Gonna have this army just kind of stick around right here. I'm not gonna attack Cassentia head on this turret. I'm just gonna wait one so my armies can converge on it at once. It just, to me, seems like the logical decision to make. I don't know if I'm wrong about that, but to be honest, I just think it's the right thing to do here. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Ready for orders. Ready for orders.
Yeah, nothing really going on over here. I'll let this rebellion go for one more turn,
Ready for battle.
because I want to take Cassentia. And I could take Panormus, if I so want to. You know what?
Bring a blockade.
I don't think I'm going to actually keep it if I take it. Because I just don't really imagine that the Romans are going to allow me to keep it for even a turn, and my navy will just get wrecked. And you saw how many, like, Roman legions they have built up in Syracuse. Like, that force would obliterate any navy in existence. Like, I won't be able to protect this settlement, and my navy will instantly die once the battle ends, just purely because of the way the game works and stuff. So, like, if your navy is in a settlement and they get attacked, then all the units just, they die. So, yeah, nothing I can really do about it. So to obey the game mechanics. The good thing, though, is that I'm approaching the Romans with a huge amount of ships, and each and every single ship has artillery on board. You can see, nice,
Assault ships ready for orders.
you know, little scorpions on board, ballistae, whatever you want to call them. And we are going to pepper the absolute bejesus out of these Romans and obliterate them. Now, not every single ship has such fixtures on board. Like, for example,
Our missiles
like my
await
smaller
orders.
ships that
Ships and
contain mainly archers, they don't, but
support
like some of
ships.
my smaller vessels, actually most of my smaller vessels don't have the artillery on board for obvious reasons, but still. Many of my larger ships do.
General.
So let's get all of these ships together in what is essentially going to be just a floating artillery squadron. And let's just have at it.
Support ship. Your command. Set oars. Crewed and ready.
And with my men deployed, let us commence.
An omen of good fortune, I think.
Fortunately, I won't be able to use the bolt thrower on it, but you know what? Doesn't really matter. What matters is that the local citizens are being obliterated, and with these local citizens lies the true chances of the Romans to survive my artillery bombardment. I mean, can you see? The absolute misery being inflicted upon these citizens. How could they possibly believe that Rome offers peace? And this is the way that their own people are treated. So it's kind of just comical to think that, like, just a random person would be in this garrison. But I don't think a mob that looked that ragged would be equipped for this type of defense. Perhaps I had no other choice. desperate times and all that. Yeah, I'm not sure whether these ballista run out of shots. I don't think they do. I think I can just fire indefinitely until the Romans are just completely out of range, but they continue to be within range, so gonna allow my men to train on this cavalry. The horsemen cannot afford to just be shot at like this. Romans don't have so many horsemen in this battle. Meanwhile, my archers on this flank, I mean, they're also dealing damage. And let's just wait. Local archers, I mean, they're just getting battered by flaming bolt after flaming bolt until they have to run back. Just run away, these Italian swordsmen. I mean, man, my bolts are seeking them regardless of where they are. And yeah, I mean, it's not a particularly great position for Italian swordsmen to be. I mean, that unit's absolutely ruined. Never fleeing. But I don't think that the Romans are willing to sacrifice anyone else that stupidly. I mean, I could reposition my troops if I wanted more free shots, but I'm not gonna do that. It doesn't appear that I can land across this beachfront, can I? Or can land across some of it anyway. Let's go ahead and try our luck here. Many a garrison marine to make this happen with. Populate the main beach with our hardiest men, our Greek Marines. These guys pack quite a punch. They're actually pretty combat effective, even relative to these Roman garrison troops. So, once they all land, we should be able to do a quite reasonable job for me. But it does take a while for Marines to land, especially when the units are in such large numbers. My Marines do have javelins. Some of these mob have already been taken for a ride, so...
Troops awaiting orders. Quick march! Attack the Commander! Commander! Advance! Warlock swordsman! At the double!
Okay, what unit is this? A local archer. Go ahead and push these four this way.
Warlock swordsman! Melee infantry ready!
To fight these Italians.
Warlock swordsman! Missiles awaiting targets! Happy to serve the people!
So archers only have 18 weapon damage, so don't really expect them to be any good.
At speed!
Go ahead and kill the enemy general of this unit.
Swords! Orders! Telos! Commander! Melee
Fire upon a single Italian sword, which is all of my javelins.
Swords! Archers! We await the
Yeah, this cavalry unit really should be bogging itself down.
melee infantry at your command.
Ugh.
Orders! Ready!
Javelins did not have an impact. But alas, we did scatter the enemy general, which is a pretty big achievement.
Pack forward! Ready and waiting!
So we're now going to be quite outnumbered along that flank in particular.
Raise us! Proud sons of Macedon!
Yeah, we should be able to defeat this citizen hoplite. What we have on this flank.
Archers! Warriors of Macedon! Swords!
Well, the militia's holding for now, but will we be able to hold once the rest of my navy lands? I don't quite think so. I think that the rest of these marines and my Cretan archers and stuff, once they get off the ships, they'll be glorious. My general's not doing fantastically, but he's about to get some reinforcements once these cavalry break.
Archers! Warlock swordsman! Melee infantry at your command! Sword! Yours to command! Break the line! Warriors of Macedon! Royal Thorax swordsman! Ready and waiting! Act for glory! Swords! A charge! Melee infantry!
Perfect.
Advance!
And now we can go ahead and turn on these fools. Is my general dead? I don't quite see the circle of influence anymore. Can I find him amongst my men? I think that's him.
Hack them down! Warlock swordsman!
Yeah, there's a couple of units that aren't doing great, but the good thing is that we did wipe out the rest of these hoplites.
Royal Thorax swordsman!
Ooh.
Advance!
Go ahead, 2v1 the enemy garrison marine champion. Oh, we did lose a unit of marines over here. Spread some of our marines too thin on this right flank, that's for sure. A general nearby, that's good. I was concerned that my general had died or something. Okay, but there we go, we just routed that one unit that we had sandwiched so spectacularly, and go ahead and run the rest of my men across.
Sons of Ares! Warlock swordsman! Active them all! General, your orders! Engage! Macedonians ready! Glory for Macedon! Warlock swordsman! For glory! Melee infantry! At speed! Archers! Missile infantry ready! Archers! Missile...
Okay, and let's go ahead and kind of like do this. Bring one unit around.
Royal Thorax swordsman!
We'll try to surround the general, because at least this way we have a 3 versus 1. Pretty similar units, so the Roman general should die relatively quickly. So yeah, we'll be hitting him on the flank, we'll be cutting him down. Just our garrison, like our marines are not the quickest to cut men down. They're not shock troops at all, so it'll just take a while for us to kill the enemy general. But over here, like we will, at this point, start to overwhelm the enemy. It's just
Missiles ready and waiting!
on this flank, we are doing all right. We're not like winning, but we're not losing utterly either. Well, I think with those last couple of routes, the Romans really are going to start feeling the heat of this battle. Look, we're raising a Macedonian flag in their city center. Our garrison is falling left and right. Even though we do have some pretty weak marine archers coming at the Romans with daggers, our flank is compromised. They can't deny that. Well, see an Italian swordman fleeing now. Let's see whether this local citizen militia likes being flanked. Oh, we've captured a down center. The Romans are gonna go. We're done. We're done. We're absolutely over. There's no way that the Romans can survive this onslaught. And to be fair, I think there's a reasonable number of men there. But it is kind of fun to take like a settlement with just a navy. And naval troops are very strong. It's not like it's by any means like a mega challenge or anything. And well, I do hesitate to take Sicily on at the moment. Perhaps I should just liberate the entirety of Sicily. You know what? Let's sack it and liberate Panormus. I do not feel like taking on Sicily. Not the time for Empire to do such a thing. But we can make friends of the Greeks. Panormus, or probably the Hellenes of Panormus.
My people will find much joy in this. I accept.
And well, there we have it. I believe that should be a great place to end the turn. See if the Romans have any counterattack, for they now are missing a part of Sicily itself. I don't believe the Romans have a single province left in its entirety. Well, how the mighty have fallen. Although they have a lot of troops, man. They still have vast military resources for what should be a pretty tiny faction. But I do hesitate to get closer to the Carthaginians, because I do eventually need to go to Africa. Although, you know what? I'm not going to accept any military alliances this turn, but I think that I should either, like, ally with Carthage and Africans, or ally with the factions in Asia Minor, and really just choose one over the other. And I've been more willing to ally with Carthage for the time being. Although I do need to go into Africa itself. It is kind of a nonsensical decision in the whole. And being, if I look at what I have to capture, it really is only Syria in this direction where I have to go. Like, it would make a lot more sense to go to Africa and then Egypt. And then, you know what, honestly, it makes no sense to ally with those countries. I should just ally with Pergamon naturally.
For the sake of friendship that has been, and
like, let's just get these alliances going. Like, it's very clear, and I should not consider anything else.
I am here to listen if you speak.
Let's go ally with Pergamon.
My people will find much.
And Rhodes. Perfect. And with Pergamon and Rhodes both predisposed towards me, it should be a pretty solid. We should have a pretty easy time keeping our keeping Thrace. Rather, and Thrace free of trouble. And we'll be able to send this army rather than to Asia Minor. Yeah, we'll just have to send this army to Italy. we'll use it to invade. Complete. So it was a complete and utter indecision to make this army here, but we'll send them over to Italy, and then they'll be able to participate in my general invasion of Sicily and Rome itself. Although, you know what? I can go ahead and just kind of have a breather and liberate most of Sicily before we go up against the Carthaginians. Would be kind of nice to have Sicily as like a bit of a buffer. But yeah, for now, I'm just going to save my game. And it's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.